Today, in a 5-4 decision, the United States Supreme Court decided that Texas had to remove razor wire that it was using to secure an area of its border along the Rio Grande River. Now, as a libertarian, that upsets me. Matter of fact, it outright enrages me. Not because I think razor wire or border walls are the best way to deal with the immigration crisis. I actually think that there are better ways to deal with the immigration issue. And there are logistical concerns that I have when it comes to the idea of a border wall. Border walls that are meant to keep people out can also keep people in. So I have a concern about that. Border walls also make me think of East and West Germany during the Cold War. Communists love walls. Now, I'm not saying that everyone who loves border walls are communists, obviously, but I think that's a blind spot that a lot of conservatives have. They're not remembering history very well. But it enrages me that the Supreme Court would come in and tell the people of the state of Texas that they have to remove the razor wire from its border because the federal government has no right to tell the state of Texas what Texas can do about Texas issues. It is a gross violation of the Constitution for the federal government under the Biden administration to come in and say, no, screw you, Texas. We don't care about what you're doing to defend your own border. You have to do what we say. And the Supreme Court went along with it. Now, a federal appeals court ruled that Texas can do what Texas wants to do, as it should. Because under the Constitution, states have more powers than the federal government. The 9th and 10th Amendments ensure that states can do what they want to do when it comes to state issues. And if the federal government overreaches, the states can come back and say, screw off, we're going to do what we want to do. I would encourage the people of the state of Texas to put the razor wire back up, regardless of what the feds say. The feds can screw off. Pardon me for putting it that way, but that's just how I feel. I would rather deal with government at a local level doing things I don't like because it's easier to fix than with the feds. And the feds think that because 3 people died, 3 migrants died on January 12th, that they had the right to come in and remove this razor wire. Now, I personally think that it's better to look at the root causes of what's causing the immigration problem, such as things like the war on drugs and the welfare state. If we eliminate those things, we wouldn't have an immigration problem the way that we have now. I mean, who can blame the immigrants when they live in horrible countries that have communist governments for the most part? Who can blame them when our government is just handing out welfare and handing out all kinds of drugs and things that are coming across our border, things that would make it lucrative? So my solution as a libertarian would be to end the welfare state, cut it all out, end the war on drugs. So you stop the flow of drugs between the north and south sides of the border. Don't make it illegal to consume marijuana or any drug for that matter. I don't like it, but I realize that that is making illegal immigration more appealing. Things like that. If you end the root causes, then illegal immigrants will have less incentive to want to come to America. I think that the immigration system should be streamlined. We should go back to an Ellis Island type approach where if you're not a national security threat, if you're not a sickly person, if you have people in this country that are willing to take care of you until you're able to get on your feet, such as a family member, and you're not going to be a burden to the rest of us who are already here, let them come in, let them work, let them do what they want to. And those things can be easily done. A lot of people don't think about that. But you're telling me in the modern era that we can't vet the people coming into this country? I'll give you a beautiful example. Glenn Beck's organization, Mercury One, his charity that he founded, has done beautiful, beautiful work rescuing Christians from the Middle East, getting them out of the way of ISIS since 2015. And they vet those people before they reassign them or help them move into another country, say. They've done that since 2015. They've also been involved in ending sex trafficking around the world. Now, if a private organization can vet the people that is moving from the Middle East and reassimilating into a country that's more friendly to Christians, you're telling me the federal government cannot verify and can't make sure who's coming into this country? I call BS. Those are things that need to be done, but let Texas decide what Texas is going to do. It is morally wrong for people who do not know what's going on down there to come in and say, no, Texas, we don't care what you think. We don't care about your people. That's like flipping them the bird. One could easily say that our country is being invaded through the southern border. Texas has a right to defend itself, and Texans are the best ones to make those decisions. I'm going to post some footage that I have seen on Twitter today so you can look and see what these people are dealing with. God save the state of Texas.